Well, thanks everyone for being here. Mike DeNunzio. I'm one of the co-founders of AIREA. I'm also run my own strategic consultancy called PVAI Consulting, where we help brands integrate AI into their workflows as well as solving the outcomes that they do. But I'm here to talk today about AIREA. But first, can I get a sense of the marketers in the room? Is anyone here in the marketing function? Oh, wow. Okay, great. Awesome. So now I better be prepared for the questions. Our platform AIREA is really designed to, as it says, transform content creation at scale. And what we are building is this idea that we're trying to help marketers who are suffering with this this proliferation of channels, tremendous need to develop all sorts of content, try to stay on brand, on message, and do it in a way that makes sense because they're not getting more resources. And so the platform that we're building, and I'll show you the first version of it, which is the text-to-text piece, it's an AI SaaS marketing platform, and we're going to combine leading models for text, image, video, and data in a very user-friendly interface. And this is going to enable marketers to very efficiently produce the content at scale, all within the marketing process that they're very familiar with. And so just quickly why this came about. So Nicholas Santos on the left, he was toying around with ChatGPT from pretty much the earliest of days. He was a digital marketer at a fashion brand, performance and growth marketing side of things, and he was using AI to do all sorts of things. But the problem that he found was he needed different solutions to accomplish the entire process. So about a year or so ago, he asked Brian Sung, my other partner who was advising the company at the time, do you think there's an opportunity for us to build a platform that is going to help marketers who can do the entire process all within one? And then they got me involved. And so the three of us have been in the marketing side of things for, well, Brian and I, at least for 30 years, Nick, about half of that time. And we looked at the problem, saw an opportunity, and for us, the key was to make sure that marketers could do the entire process. So all the way from ideation to content creation, to deployment, to data analysis, and have that circle all the way back in. And so what that looks like is there's 6 core areas that we're building out. The first that we have right now, which I'll show you today, are the first 2, the brand DNA, and then the creative campaign briefs where you can create the copy outputs. We're in the process of building the visual piece, so brands are going to be able to connect with their DAMs, and they're going to be able to upload their assets. Those assets are going to be able to be resized, and based on all the channels that you've selected, kind of automatically resized for all those channels, deployed to the platforms on the right, and then we'll be able to feed that data back in to do quality scores and help provide more information for future campaigns. And really what this means is brands are going to be able to save time, they're going to save money, they're going to increase revenue, but they're also going to stay on brand. So all of you in the marketing know how difficult it is when you're dealing with multiple channels, multiple messages, to try to make sure that everything is staying on brand. And we've worked with several betas over the last 8 or 9 months, modeling out what they could save. And if you're doing about 2 omni-channel campaigns a week, you can expect to save around 4,000 hours a year in content development, which comes out to be around $165,000 in savings. So that's what we believe our value proposition is. Again, taking the entire campaign process and being able to deploy it quite easily. And so let me show you the platform itself. So as I mentioned, the first part that we've developed is the text-to-text piece. We are in beta, so any of you who, after this, if this is of interest, we are definitely looking for beta customers. We have quite a robust pipeline from our own networks, but we're looking to find people who are less friendly and help us, get us really good feedback. So please come up to me if you think this is of interest. So what happens is you'd go to the platform, you'd sign in, obviously watch a couple videos to understand how you're doing, and then you would train the model. And so you've probably seen this, and actually I'm going to just pause for a second. Does anyone here use a platform like a Jasper or a Writer or Copy or WriteSonic? Got a few hands? Okay, perfect. Okay, so if you've used those platforms, you're probably familiar with uploading files and into a knowledge base so they can start to understand your brand. We have very similar functionality. So brands will upload PDFs, CSVs, text files, data, whatever it is that they feel is important for the model to really understand what their brand is all about and how that's going to impact the development of campaigns. In this particular case, I just uploaded a PDF from a course that we teach on marketing and AI. Obviously, you would upload a series of links, and when that's all done, it'll generate a summary. So the knowledge base will pull everything you've put, generate a summary. Just like in GPT or any of the LLMs that you use, you can prompt it for changes and ultimately get to the output that you want. You would save that, and then that would lead you to brand guidelines. So for lots of brands, they have certain words that they want associated with them, and then they have certain words they don't want associated with them. And so I've done a lot of work in the fashion and apparel space, and so the idea of wrinkle-free versus wrinkle-resistant or waterproof versus water-resistant, there are just certain words you don't want to say, and those would show up in the negative words. So you have positive words, negative words, the tone that you want, the target audiences that you're going after, and the core values of the brand. And so all of this is, as you can see, you can generate more. Here you can auto-generate. You can, if some of these aren't working, obviously you just get rid of those. And that's going to then ultimately take us to the brand voice. And so the brand voice gets created, again, prompt for changes. And once all of this is done, you now have everything in the knowledge base. AIREA remembers all this and uses it to process it for campaigns. So then the next thing you would do is you would go and create a campaign. And so just as an example, you'd come to this page, and you may want to manually enter things in, the name of your campaign, the date, offer messages, feature products, URLs, short descriptions, etc. But sometimes you're just looking for ideas, and so I would just type in here, launch of new service. Okay, so obviously that was not a very comprehensive prompt, but the idea is you put in what you want. I'm looking for additional ideas, and it's going to develop a series of campaign ideas for you. So you could select any of these and get a preview of that particular campaign. Some of you may like, some you want. If you like them, but you're not necessarily going to use them, you could bookmark them. But I'm going to go with this one. Okay, so now I'm here, and I've got this campaign, and then it's going to bring you back to the slide I just showed you, which is the campaign creation details. So as you're going through, all of this is pre-filled. You can select or remove any of these, and here's where you select your channels. So for example, let's say we want to use Google. Within Google, I want to just do search and performance max. And then I have Meta, similar thing, where if I want to use Meta, I can then go and I can select the various ones that I want within Meta. Everything on the back end for us is built using all the best practices of the platform, so you don't have to be thinking about all of that. That's what's going into it. That's already pre-built into the system. And then you would click. So in this case, I selected Google Ads, and I selected email and Meta. Yeah, I'm just going to continue to go through this because it's a little bit quicker. So then in the normal marketing process, you have the creative brief. So automatically a brief is created. You have the objective, description, the target, campaign key message. And then for each of the channels, so in this case LinkedIn, in this case email, and here on the Google Ads, you have all of the details that you want. So normally this process can take hours and days and quite a bit of time. Here you're seeing it's done in a matter of seconds. And we anticipate, and through our beta customers, we know various different types of people are using the platform all at once. So you might have the head of marketing as an example, who sets the ideas for the campaigns and all the information. And then the next person who comes in might be the creative person, who I'll show you on the next slides. They're going to sign off on all of the copy outputs. Then performance and growth marketers might take it from there, bring it over to the platforms, and do what they need to do within the platforms. So you have your campaign creative brief, and after that, it brings you to all of your copy. So as you can see here, we have copy for organic social, copy for paid media, both Google Search and Google Performance Max, and then copy for owned media. And I've already pre-selected these, but you can go in and all of this is fully editable. You can prompt, you can have different changes, all right within in the areas itself. So in this case, we have LinkedIn, so you have a bio, we have headline, we have long posts, we have short posts, we have a variety of different options that you could do. If you're in Google, again, you have everything based on the best practices. It's all pre-built out for you. And then you would go and you create your templates. So here, let's just go to Google and Google Search. So we've already created templates. All of this is drag and drop. So if I want to change something, I just move that over, even though I just did the same one. I'll go back just so you can see how that works. And if you want more, you just hit create template and we have a new one. And so this enables you to create lots of versions of ads very, very quickly. All during this process, you'll be able to share, export, collaborate, and then you get to final review. And so final review is the final outputs that you have that you can then deploy to the channels. We aren't yet set up where you can automatically deploy to the channels. We will soon be. But in the interim, way we have it now is you can export it as PDF, XLS, and as well as a Word doc. And then, of course, you can share. So right now, our collaboration is around this idea of a link. We're building more robust collaboration features in the platform as we go. So that's AIREA, and I'd be happy to answer any questions. We think the primary difference right now is the fact that we are built for entire campaigns, where a lot of the other platforms, and this isn't a critique of them, it's not a bad thing, is that they're more driven by point solutions, and we're trying to bring the whole comprehensive planning process together. In our platform, can you say, oh, I just need an email, or I just need this? Of course, but we're really built for the marketing teams that want to do entire campaigns in the beginning right now. So I say that's the primary difference. At least that's what we're hearing from customers and people that we're demoing the platform for. And I think a lot of that just depends on your organization and obviously what your particular needs are. We are going after the SMB market, so that's our core customer, whereas Jasper and Writer are more they're really, I think, going more toward, based on what I can see, they're going more toward enterprise, and it's really different. We've talked to plenty of enterprises because many of us come from very large corporations, and so we have lots of contacts there. It's just really a different sale, a different integration, a different thing. We're going after the SMB. So the first level of collaboration is just around the team. So very easily for the team to collaborate. And what we're learning is some organizations really don't even want that. They'd rather just communicate through their own Slack channels and programs and do things that way. Others want it all combined within the platform. So if you think of the way you might use Google Workspace, right, where you can comment on things and chat things, all of that is currently being built because there are definitely organizations that want that. And then the other level will be integrating with their current communications systems like a Slack or something like that. We're really focused right now on SMB, omni-channel for sure, but have heavy content needs across channels. And that's really our core group. Not so much, could I see that down the line? For sure. I wouldn't say that's anywhere in the next 12 to 18 months for us from where we're focusing. You can upload anything. I would say tables probably work best within PDFs. just from the model reading it standpoint, if that's what you're asking. That would be my recommendation. I think just kind of generally, sometimes even GPT will spit things back if it's, not always in the best format. So I would recommend putting those in a PDF first and then uploading those in. From the links standpoint, let me go back to that. Right now, the way the platform is set up, you would put in links to the very specific pages that you want the knowledge base to pull from. So you wouldn't just put in, say, your main URL. You would put in, I really like this blog post. I really like this product feature. We'll kind of see how that evolves over time once we have more betas on the platform giving us feedback. But the way we've set it up right now is to really guide the customers to put in the specific links that they think best represent their brand or have the information on those pages that they want the knowledge base to be pulling from. You can go in and just edit it like this as you would normally. You can prompt it for changes, but yes, you can edit it at any time. So if new information comes in or changes for whatever reason, yeah, you definitely can edit it. So we haven't announced a cost yet. I can say pretty confidently it's consistent with the other types of platforms that are in the market because we're testing costs with our beta users right now. But to give you some sense of this, you want to think somewhere in the $79 to $299 a month per user. A lot of that's going to be based on consumption and features. So obviously, the more you're using it, there's more cost to us, obviously, on our end. So it'll vary, but we haven't settled on that yet because we've done a lot of price research, but we're still, now that the platform is live and people are using it, we can actually get really good input on, what their capacity to pay or willingness to pay will be. So we definitely see agencies using the platform. We have beta customers as agencies right now testing it. A lot of it, I think, is incumbent on the agency to really make sure that they're staying at the forefront of AI and what the capabilities of AI can do. So this platform, yeah, you would train them on this tool, or they may be coming to you with using this tool or one of the other tools that are out there and sharing that they're using AI tools to create the content. That, I think, is really important, that the transparency and the partnership between both the brand and the agency to make sure you're clear on what the AI is doing and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, we definitely see agencies, they're the ones we've been beta testing with like it because they can have multiple brands within the platform. And there's a pretty substantial time savings here for them. But I think more importantly is it allows you to spend more time on more strategic things versus just kind of the rote, like, oh gosh, I have to create like 20 versions of this ad, and more on the strategic planning and the strategic thinking. Yeah, huge issue is having that loop of the data coming out. So how are all the ads performing? What are the drivers of those ads, especially as we incorporate image and video? Is the model standing up? Is the model standing? What are they doing? So we are going to be connecting with the platforms. We're not there yet, as I mentioned. We literally just put this out to the wild like a week ago. So we're very transparent about where we are. So if you do become a beta tester, there will be some bugs. Please let us know, though. But yeah, data and the data loop is a very big part of our roadmap and something you'll see, I would say, probably, in the middle of the first quarter. We all come from the world of data, and we're all, from the marketing side, so we're quite familiar with it. It's really just a matter of when it gets built into the platform. Because one other thought for you, just to leave you with, is when you think of some of these platforms, at least the way we like to talk about it, is think of it as zero to first draft. We're going to really quickly help you get from zero to first draft. Ultimately, we're going to have a lot more data, and those first drafts are going to be getting better, and then 12 months from now, our platform will be more agentic, and who knows what that's going to look like for everybody, right? As these things start to do more things on our behalf. But right now, just think of these tools. I think their real value is a lot of it is zero to first draft. Save lots of time, give you lots of options, and spend more time on the things you actually like to be doing. Yeah, we're just starting to get that feedback for sure. We're getting kind of all feedback, everything from the UI, the UX, all of that kind of stuff. Like I said, we've only put it out to the wild for about a week, so there's nothing I can really extrapolate to say, these were really good, these were not so good, they worked really well here, they didn't. I don't have enough of that data to share yet, but again, for anyone who's a beta user, that's exactly what we're looking for. I mean, we've done a lot of work behind the scenes on how the models are being prompted, all that kind of stuff, the information it's pulling. Now the proof is in the pudding as we're out there in the wild to see, how all that work is, paying off. I'd say 3/4, maybe a little higher than that, are on the consumer side, for sure. We think, the thesis is that we're going to be more consumer focused on those brands. Running up against a HubSpot or Salesforce is, that's kind of a different game you're playing. So initially though, our ICP is on the consumer side. Again, we have B2B people testing it. They do use HubSpot and they do, use some of these other platforms. So we'll get that feedback, but the thesis is, more consumer in the early days. More of a marketing manager. On the brand side, on the agency side, it's, the people that have expressed the most interest in it are the performance marketers because, in the end, they are charged with creating all these ads and getting them deployed and that kind of thing. Creative people, I'd say, some people love, some, not so love, but they feel a lot more comfortable with it when we show them that they're the ones who are actually signing off on all of the ads, and it's just the model and the platform is doing a lot of the hard work for them. It's actually all over the board. We have some that are definitely some that are doing those levels, but we also have some that are doing much more than that. So again, because we're so new, we don't exactly know where the center of the fairway is going to be for us in the first 6 months, but we'll see, And we're looking for beta testers of all types. We have a bunch, but we're clearly looking for more. The biggest thing we hear is, holy cow, this saved us a lot of time.
Nice.
That's really the biggest thing that we hear. And that's great because that's a huge value for brands and for marketers. I do actually shoot.
Yes,
you know what?
Important one.
I am like the worst salesman, so sorry. I should have put that up. Here we go. That's why I'm the COO and not the CMO. But yeah, you can just go to dashboard.areasolutions.ai. And if you want a demo, we're happy to do that. Just send me an email at michael@areasolutions.com. You can find me on LinkedIn as well. Probably should have my name up here as well. It's Michael DeNunzio, DENUNZIO, but I'll be here if you're interested and we can connect.